Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. It is Sixers Postgame Live right here on Run It Back Philly. I am DJ Eastwood. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. You know the drill. Hit the like button on the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these live streams after Sixers games. This is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Get the Lawnmower 4.0 with skin-safe technology, the quietest razor you will ever use. And it'll clean you right up, man. You can go over all of the most sensitive areas that are scary to deal with no fear using the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the promo code NOINTRO at Manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. The Sixers get a nice, comfortable victory against the Dallas Mavericks down in South Philly on a Friday night. Finally, we're winning a game. We're up by 20. We were up by almost 20 at one point. Of course, game of runs. But we didn't blow the entire lead. Okay, we didn't blow the entire lead and let them come back and go to overtime or anything like that. This is a decent Dallas Mavericks team. Obviously, Luka Doncic. They got Davis Bertans, who absolutely shreds us. And whenever he played for the Wizards, the guy would just go off and start shooting from half court. So I was a little nervous about him. Another guy that always kills us, no matter what team that he's on, is Spencer Dinwiddie. I was a little worried about him, but he didn't do anything either. Jalen Brunson, Villanova product, family was in the house. His homecoming, he came out of the gates with some kind of fire, man. That dude scored the first 7 points of the game. It was literally Jalen Brunson was up 7-0 on the Sixers to start the game. But that was the beginning of the game. We got it together. We got it calmed down. We got it under control. I thought the main storyline of this game was the defensive effort by the Philadelphia 76ers. Did I just say that out loud? Did DJ Eastwood just compliment the Philadelphia 76ers defensive effort? Wow. I know, it's something we haven't seen for a long time. I thought we did a lot of things better than we've been doing them in recent games. We didn't get absolutely hammered in transition defense. We didn't get absolutely hammered on the rebounds. I didn't look at the number there. I could be wrong, but, it didn't. We gave up some offensive, probably too many rebounds. But what was the rebound here? The Mavs had 40 rebounds. We had 38. So they still beat us by 2 in the rebound department. But the 2022 Sixers only losing the rebound battle by 2, I'll take it. I'll take it, all right? I thought it was interesting how much we ran zone defense in this game. I mean, obviously that was a strategy that we had coming in, was to run zone defense against Luka Doncic, to try to force him to do something from the top of the key other than just take guys one-on-one or run a simple, easy pick and roll where we would drop behind the screen and he would shoot wide open threes all game. So I thought our defense on Luka Doncic was phenomenal in this game. He finished the game 5 for 20, 2 for 10 from 3, 5 for 9 from the free throw line. He had 10 assists. He was a minus 17 with 17 points. Jalen Brunson, who I said started out hot. I thought he was just going to go off for like 50 because it was his homecoming and it's the Sixers. And, young players like Jalen Brunson seem to stab us in the heart. But he slowed down a little bit. Finished the game with 24 after scoring the first 7 points of the game. It was interesting to me that James Harden looked like crap for 3 quarters and then all of a sudden just came out of it in the fourth. I don't know how or why that happened, but it did. It's funny because it was actually right when I was like tweeting about how bad he looks in this game that he started to come alive in the fourth quarter. James Harden, ladies and gentlemen, in the fourth quarter of this game, scored 10 points in 3 minutes. James Harden scored 10 points in 3 minutes in the fourth quarter of this game. And, so we got a little bit of a glimpse of the James Harden that we need. We got a glimpse of the James Harden that we need in this game in the fourth quarter. He started it off with the drive down the lane, the crazy behind the head no-look pass. Kate Scott said behind the back. She was totally wrong. But behind the head to DeAndre Jordan for a wide-open dunk. That was beautiful. He had an alley-oop to DeAndre Jordan in the fourth quarter. He hit a step-back mid-range that rolled in. He hit his two little dribble, pitter-patter, if you're a la and Kate, a pitter-patter step-back three. Listen, NBC producers, somebody up top. Somebody's got to stop. Somebody has to put a stop to Kate Scott and Ala Adanabi. You got to put a stop to it. You can't be, listen, we have one of the best players to ever play the game on our team right now in James Harden. We have two, and Joel Embiid. But you're not going to ruin these highlights for me by calling this a pitter-patter step-back three, okay? End it. Tell him to never say it again. That's probably the worst thing I've ever heard. Stop saying pitter-patter. What is going on here? Anyway, Harden hit two. Harden hit two of those in the fourth, his signature step back. Got to the free throw line. And yeah, he had 10 points in 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. We got some contributions from our bench in this game. Wow. We got some contributions from our bench. The Philadelphia 76ers got contributions from our bench. Now, last game, Doc Rivers was pressured a little bit in the post-game press conference about not playing young guys, not switching it up when players aren't performing. What do players have to do to get playing time here, Doc? And he was like, they have to play well. Like, why would you ask me that? No, I'm the best coach of all time. How dare you, undermine me? So I thought maybe he was going to do something a little more creatively in this game, but he still went with this. He went with the same lineups, the same guys off the bench, the same thing he's been doing for a long time. And in the first quarter, second quarter, there was times where we were down 5, down 6, and I was like, man, this dude's really going to run this into the ground. But George Niang made shots. That's the story of the game. George Niang made shots. When you're dealing with guys like George Niang, Danny Green, Matisse Thybulle, they're not going to do anything amazing with the ball in their hands. They're just going to either make shots or miss shots. So when those are your guys off the bench, actually Matisse was starting in the game, which I still think is going to be tough down the road as we enter the playoffs, starting a guy like Matisse Thybulle. But he hit 2 threes in this game. He went 2 for 2 from 3. Again, I'm not going to act like that's something that's going to happen all the time. I'm not going to say, wow, Matisse Thybulle figured it out, and now he's going to be an amazing 3-and-D player. I hope he does, but I don't want to jump the gun on that. But he was 2 for 2 from 3, and George Niang made some threes. These are just make-or-miss guys. That's all they are. If we want to have any chance at going places and doing anything, deep into the playoffs, we're going to need something from the bench, and basically you just need to hope the bench makes shots. And they made shots. George Niang, especially in the fourth quarter. I was really happy to see James Harden's confidence level and swagger in the fourth quarter. Once he started cooking, he started to give you those glimpses of the old school James Harden where he's like, all right, just give me the ball, bro. Nobody can stop me. Just give me the ball. So I was excited to see that. I was like, oh, man, look at the confidence right now on James Harden's body language. Just step back threes, driving the lane, throwing alley-oops, even throwing in mid-range shots there. We keep saying he needs to shoot mid-range shots a little bit more because, it gets kind of predictable. He's either going to shoot a 3 or he's going to drive all the way in and try to get fouled. So I thought James was more dynamic in this game, and I was happy to see. And then I think George Niang just fed off of that in that fourth quarter. When we went on that fourth quarter run, Joel Embiid was on the bench. Wow, we finally have a player. And James hasn't been shooting the ball great over the past couple of games. But ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia 76ers finally have a player on the roster that can make things happen while Joel Embiid is on the bench. Isn't that incredible? So finally, for the first time in my lifetime watching Joel Embiid's career, the 76ers were a positive with Joel Embiid on the bench. So that should be something that, a positive that we take from this game. That should be something that makes us all feel good. That should be something that makes us all take a deep sigh of relief and say, wow. And moving forward, we can build on this. Jonathan Himes, a member of the No Fraud Zone for 13 months. Shout out to you, my man, Jonathan Himes. Thank you for being a member of the No Fraud Zone. And thank you for always supporting the channel and the journey that we're on right here, Run It Back Philly. James Harden seems to have just been deferring to his teammates. I'm okay with that, but he will have to say F Embiid and take over once in a while. Well, he didn't say F Embiid. He did it when Embiid was on the bench, which is when you need him to do it. And, Doc experimenting lineups, trying to find out what works where and when it works. I was happy about it. I also thought we ran a lot of Joel Embiid, James Harden, pick and rolls from the top. Again, Doc Rivers, any other coach you want to name that overcomplicates everything because they think they're some kind of rocket scientist genius. You're not. You're not a genius. You're not. It's a simple game. The game started with a peach basket nailed to a tree. It's very simple. It's 5-on-5. The best play in the game is the pick and roll for a reason, because it puts the defense at a disadvantage because you have to go around a screen. Then you have to try to retreat. And when you're out of position, you foul. That's why people run the pick and roll all the time. These two players are so elite on the basketball court, period, that them running the pick and roll together is amazing. Philly Fresh, thank you for that. 200 watching, only 40 likes. Hit the like button, man. Come on. It is St. Patrick's Day weekend. I'm sure half the people that follow this channel are drunk in a bar right now. So shout out to the people that are here, because you're the real ones. So I thought we ran a Joel Embiid, James Harden pick and roll a lot more in this game. We used it to our advantage. James is just so good at dropping the ball off when the defense hesitates a little bit. When he catches them slacking just a step too late, he drops it to Embiid, who trots down the lane like a mythical just gazelle and just does an Eiffel Tower hammer in the middle of the lane. I mean, Joel Embiid rumbling down the lane and slamming is one of my favorite things to watch, and we haven't seen him as a roller in his career so far because he never played with a point guard and he never played with a point guard of the caliber of James Harden. So, for all those people that said, well, I don't know how it's going to work, all the people on ESPN, I don't know how it's going to work, because Joel Embiid's not really known to be a roll man, So what's going to happen when James Harden's out there trying to run the pick and roll? I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to roll to the basket because he now has a point guard, and rolling to the basket is not something that's hard to do. You just literally run in the direction of the basket. Everybody made it sound like it was the most complicated, insane thing that was ever going to have to be put together. No, James has the ball, you go around the screen and you run toward the basket. That's what you do. So Joel Embiid, obviously, the guy's one of the smartest players I've ever seen. If he can figure out how to do through the legs step back three at 7 feet tall, 280 pounds, I think he can figure out how to roll to the basket. So you're seeing it now. I thought last game against the last loss that we had against Denver, we didn't run a whole lot of James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and rolls. And actually the game 2 nights ago against Cleveland, my guy, Mr. Crockpot TPL on Twitter, posted the highlights of Joel Embiid and James Harden's pick and rolls, and there was only 4 of them in that entire game. So I thought, let's just go ahead and do that more. Let's use our best two players and pick and roll. Just do that. And Embiid's smart enough that there's plays where he rolls, catches the ball, the defense steps up, and he catches it at the free throw line, and then he hits a skip pass. Joel Jokic Embiid hits the no-look skip pass to the corner for, Danny Green 3, George Niang 3, Matisse Thybulle 3. So let's just keep doing this, man. Like we said when the trade first happened, it's going to take, we're going to have growing pains. We got a little ahead of ourselves those first 4 games, man. We really did. I mean, I don't know if I'm speaking for you, but I'm definitely speaking for myself. I thought we were on top of the world. I thought we were literally the NBA champions those first 4 games we played together. But defenses hadn't adjusted to James Harden, and there was a lot of things that once defenses adjusted, we went through a little bit of a 3-game slump where we didn't look too good. Overtime with the Orlando Magic, on and on and on, losing to Denver. We played good against Denver, actually. We just fell apart in crunch time. But I think this game was the best we've looked since those first 4 with James Harden on the squad. Now, James Harden was shooting horrendously the first 3 quarters. And, I was tweeting about it. People were making jokes, showing the screenshot of, like, the shattered backboard and things like that. The thing that they post when Russell Westbrook shoots all the bricks that he shoots. And I don't know. Maybe he sat on the bench after the third quarter and clicked on Twitter and said, this DJ Eastwood thinks he's going to clown me. Thinks he's going to clown me on Twitter. I was like, what is James Harden's 3-point percentage in the last 3 games? And actually, somebody calculated it, and it's 28. It was 28.6%. So I was just like, damn, man, when's this guy gonna get it back? You know what I mean? And then the fourth quarter, he went off because he read my tweets, and he said, I got this. Everybody get out of my way. I'm James freaking Harden. Give me the ball. And he came alive. He scored 10 points in 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. So I was very happy about that. Luka Doncic had 6 turnovers. Really didn't do anything, Luka Doncic. He shot an air ball in the fourth quarter just to top it off. We made shots. Make or miss the league. We made shots. George Niang, he says Friday night's his favorite night of the week. So maybe he was just, having a little extra motivation. St. Patrick's Day weekend. I'm sure George Niang is in a nightclub right now buying shots for people. So, at least Niang gave us a good performance before he went to wherever he went to party on Friday night. In the first quarter, Jalen Brunson scores the first 7 points. He's up 7-0 on us. Maxey had a nice pull-up 3 in transition, and, it's so nice to see Tyrese Maxey shooting the ball this way. Sean Quigg, thank you for the super chat, my guy. It just is. He's become a legitimate threat from the 3-point line. The pull-up in transition, but not just that, man. Where are my stats at, man? Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Where's Tyrese Maxey at, man? 3 for 9. He only had 9 field goal attempts in the game. He only had 8 points in this game, really. Tyrese Maxey only had 8 points. I felt like he had more impact on this game. I guess I'm wrong. It's just the feeling that I had. Maybe it's the 2 threes that he had were like timely and, big time. But he hit 2 threes. He was 2 for 5. The stats don't really show what I'm trying to say, but I just like the fact that when Tyrese Maxey catches the ball now, he's a threat to hit a 3. I wish I could say the same for Matisse Thybulle. Again, 2 for 2 in this game, but, can we rely on that really? I don't know. Sean Quigg with the super chat says the national media will try to say that beating Dallas is not a good win either. Seems like every win is not a good win, but every loss is a season ender. When you really look at this bench, again, you got 12 from Niang. That's nice. You got 8 from DeAndre Jordan, all because of James Harden. But, you're still looking at Danny Green coming off the bench, who's been absolutely horrendous. He was 1 for 6 from 3 for 3 points in the game. 1 rebound, 0 block, 0 steal, 0 assist in 31 minutes. So it's not like I'm looking at this bench and saying this is good. It's just the fact that Georges Niang came alive a little bit and hit some shots. He's been cold. So, I'm not going to get too high and be like, oh, we're fixed. We're good now. We're a championship caliber team. Nah, this bench is bad. But if Georges Niang's giving you 12, that's nice. But we got to get you got to get Danny Green the hell up out of here. 31 minutes, 1 for 6, 0, 0, zeros across the board and 3 fouls. I mean, the guy's giving you nothing. Then 13 minutes from Shake Milton gave you nothing. Didn't even put up a shot attempt, but you need more players off the bench, man. Paul Reed, Isaiah Joe, Charlie Brown, they all have 1 minute on the board because when the game was over in the last minute, they were in the game. So, but there has to be something has to be done. You got to bring players up. You got to do something because the bench is bad. And Niang's not going to give you, 4 for 7 from 3 every game. He's not going to give you 3 fourth quarter 3-pointers every game. It just is the way that it is, man. When he does, it looks a lot better, obviously. And when Luka Doncic shoots 5 for 20, it looks a lot better. I'm not trying to downplay the game. It's a big win. I'm happy with it. And it's good. It's good momentum builder. It's good to build. It's good to build off of this. Ups and downs is James Harden's 10th game with the Sixers. So, a lot of things they're still figuring out. But I was happy with it, man. I was happy with it. What you guys got, man? What you guys got in the comments? We got the minutes we wanted from B-Ball Paul. 1 minute at the end of the game because it was over. Yeah. Well, it happened. At least he got on the floor, right? At least he got on the floor. DeAndre Jordan missed another dunk in his second quarter. That was funny because I know he caught another one later in the game, but DeAndre Jordan's cooked, man. I know what his stat line looks like, but when you really watch this game, it's not like you were freaking out about the things DeAndre Jordan was doing. And again, it's not like DeAndre Jordan is doing anything that Paul Reed or Charles Bassey or any of those younger guys can't do. They can probably do it more so and with better athleticism and faster and quicker and all of those things. But again, it's Doc Rivers. He coaches the team like it's a 40 and over league. So this is what we're getting. This is what we have now. This is what we have. We have to try to win with DeAndre Jordan and Danny Green coming off the bench. That's what we have to try to win with because Doc Rivers refuses to play young guys. So when we play solid defense and at least one player off the bench scores some points, we look pretty good. Obviously, Joel Embiid was his normal dominant self. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, ties his career high with 5 steals and a block. What can I say? It's becoming absolutely just a normal thing for Joel Embiid to drop 30, especially with James Harden because Joel has set up his own shots and created his own offense for so long now. With playing with a power forward at point guard for so many years, or no point guard, or, Tyrese Maxey trying to learn how to play point guard the first 3 quarters of this whole season. Now he's just getting so many easy buckets set up by somebody else because he finally has a point guard on the floor. So he can kind of coast through a basketball game and score 32 points. I mean, he averages 30. The guy's incredible. James Harden just makes him that much better. Harden was 6 for 14 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, 7 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals. I think James Harden is playing pretty damn good defense too. That's one thing that I didn't expect to see, and I really think he's trying to put in like a lot of physical effort. I think he's trying to prove people wrong. His shots hasn't been falling. His three-point shot hasn't been falling, but, I think he's really out there hustling, man, and I think he's slowly getting into, he missed a lot of games with a hamstring injury, so, I think he's slowly getting into better shape, seeing a little bit more explosion from him, a little more quickness, so, and he might be load managing himself at the same time as we move toward the playoffs, so, maybe playoffs start, we might get another level of James Harden. I mean, the goal is to be like fresh and healthy for the playoffs. So, maybe James will be on a different level when the playoffs start. I thought Tobias Harris was aggressive in the game. Again, Tobias Harris trying to fit into this role of playing off of James Harden and Joel Embiid. I think Tobias is doing a pretty good job. Couple plays in this game that I didn't like, just typical Tobias plays. But for the most part, man, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 3 from three-point range. The catch and shoot threes is something that he's been practicing, that he's been working on, and really I think it's more of a mental exercise than physical. It's more about getting his mind, like when you catch it, just shoot it. So shout out to Tobias Harris, gives you 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Good win. Looked a lot better than we have recently. What do you guys think, man? I am very tired, just to let you know. So I'm not going to be up here for too long. Feeling a little under the weather also. 284 people in here, man. Hit the like button on the stream. Thanks for being here. I'll just hang out and read some comments, man. I probably won't take any calls, to be honest with you. It's Friday night. Good win, but I'm a little zonked. Song color coded says cut Danny Green and shake too. For who though? Like who? For who? You got to call somebody up first, right? Like the Sixers won't call anybody up. They won't play anybody outside of those guys. I'm not saying they should play like Furkan Korkmaz or anybody like that. But somebody. You got to play. There has to be like a C-level NBA point guard that we can put on the floor. Like, I just don't understand how this team can never find any basketball players. Other teams seem to find basketball players all over the place. This team just doesn't seem to find them. Whatever. Patrick Thompson says Toby's getting better. Just the back down post up stuff needs to stop. He had a mismatch on Jalen Brunson a couple of times, and he wanted to take advantage of the size, so I get that. It is what it is. He's Tobias. He's going to try to get easy points when he sees a smaller player on him, and he can score in that situation. It's just annoying because you're taking the whole shot clock, and if you miss the shot, you wasted the whole possession. But I wasn't mad at anything Tobias Harris did in this game, to be honest with you. Tobias Harris did knee Dwight Powell in the nuts, going up for a layup, and he got called for an offensive foul. And then they review it to see if it was flagrant. Like, first of all, it wasn't even an offensive foul because it was a natural basketball motion. He was going up for a layup. I hate these calls in the NBA because it's a foul. Like, according to the technical rule, okay, you are impeding my path to the basket with your body. You fouled me. That's a defensive foul, okay? But if it's your face or your nuts, it's an offensive foul. Make it make sense. If it was his hip or his butt cheek or his knee or anything else, it's a defensive foul. But if you put your nuts in the way, offensive foul. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And then there's another one where he has Dinwiddie one-on-one in the paint and lowers his shoulder a tad, but Dinwiddie puts his whole face in the way and gets smacked in the face of another offensive foul. But when you really look at it, it's a defensive foul. He put his face in the path of the offensive player taking a shot. Like, get your head out of the way and get your nuts out of the way. It's still a defensive foul, but the NBA is just, I don't know. NBA officials don't know what they're doing. The Llamas' new strategy, nut path defense. If we all just put our man regions in the way, we can defend anybody because we'll just get hit. It'll be an offensive foul every time. Habib Bakish says Tobias stunk it up tonight. Well, that's an odd take because he was 6 for 9 from the field. He was 2 for 3 from 3. He had 14 points, and he was a +5. I don't know what you want Tobias Harris to do. He's Tobias Harris. He's never going to be a $180 million player. It is what it is. We're paying him that. We're stuck there paying him that. And if you want to play nutsack defense like Pal does, be sure to use manscaped.com. Use the promo code NOINTRO. Clean yourself up real nice so you can take some offensive fouls. Use the Lawnmower 4.0 to get yourself ready to take offensive fouls on the basketball court like Miles Powell does. Oh, man. Harris was awesome as the fourth role. I agree. We're stuck with it, man. Well, Kopic, thank you for reminding me to plug Manscaped in that segment. It's not like Tobias is ever going to play up to that contract. He's going to get moved in the offseason because he has to. Because, you're not going to, I'm sorry if I'm being negative, but you're not going to go deep with Danny Green and George Niang off the bench. It is what it is. But a nice win for the Sixers against the Dallas Mavericks, who are, pretty good basketball team. And we played good defense. We hustled. We almost won the rebound battle. We didn't get destroyed in transition. James Harden came alive a little bit in the fourth quarter. We saw flashes of like, oh my God, there's the superstar player that we want to see. So I think Harden's getting there slowly. He is 33 years old, coming off of a hamstring injury. So, we're probably jumping the gun, talking all this trash the first 10 games that he plays with us. But I think by the time the playoffs start, this dude's going to be in good form. Ready to play at a high level in the playoffs. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Brandon Haynes, Jokic was a -13 in a 3-point loss. Jokic slander in the chat. MVP, Joel Embiid's the MVP. There's no question about it, man. Joel Embiid's the MVP. Don't tell me anything else. Kevin Hobbs, what is a realistic trade for the summer to get rid of Harris? People ask me this a lot. There's no realistic trade. Like you're not getting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tobias Harris is this. This is what he is. He is a 14-point per game player. He's going to give you 14 points, and sometimes he's going to give you 6. Sometimes he's going to score 7 in the first quarter and score 3 the rest of the game. It's not going to change, But it's, I don't like when Sixers fans boo him because it's Tobias Harris. We paid him that money. He's not that good. So with that $180 million contract, you're not getting anything in return. You have to be happy that somebody takes it. Hey, I'll trade you this $180 million player who gives you 14 points and you give me things in return. No, bro. We probably have to give a first-round pick to get someone to take it. And maybe some players, some expiring contracts that we can buy out or whatever to free up cap space to try to do things in the offseason to make this a really strong roster. But, this isn't the boos are directed at Elton Brand. I like that. I like that take. That makes sense. That makes sense. Can Tobias play a little defense? I actually thought Tobias Harris has been playing pretty solid defense. So like lately in the past couple of games, I thought he played solid defense against the Cleveland Cavaliers, against smaller guards that are quicker and more athletic than him. I thought he played solid defense in this game. I don't like when he finishes a game with 4 rebounds because he's 6'8", and he should finish a game with more than 4 rebounds. But what do we think happened to Shake Milton, man? What do we think happened? Habib, I see your comment. Shake Milton needs to give us 10 to 12 in the playoffs. What do we think happened to Shake Milton? I don't understand what happened to him. What happened to him? The guy lost all of his skill. Have you seen Shake Milton shoot a three lately? Like the last game, the Denver game or the Cleveland game, when you see Shake Milton wide open from three, he shoots it like, remember when Markelle Fultz had the shoulder injury? That's what he shoots like now. I don't know what happened. He like heaves the ball like a shot put. It doesn't look like an NBA jump shot anymore. And Shake Milton used to be like a shooter. He used to be 40% from three, if you remember that, way back in the day, like 3 years ago. 2 years ago, when Brett Brown was forced to play him because we didn't have anybody left on the roster, or when they cut Alec Burks or Trey Burke. I don't remember when they were forced to bring up Shake Milton, but he used to be a player that you know would hit some threes and you'd be confident with him being wide open. Now he just chucks the ball like he's throwing a heavy boulder. You know what I mean? Like the ball weighs 100 pounds. I don't get it. I don't know what happened to Shake Milton, but you can't play him. You can't play him. You can't. These players coming off the bench are bad. What I'm saying is, like, if they're giving you nothing, if Shake Milton's giving you nothing, and Danny Green's giving you nothing, and DeAndre Jordan, you're telling me Paul Reed couldn't do what DeAndre Jordan did? Yes, he could. But if Shake Milton and Danny Green are giving you nothing off the bench, why, you're going to have to try something else. Nick says we need more NBA players. Exactly. Why don't we have them? I'm so confused by this team. Very confused. Do you think we can get Colin Sexton next year as a sixth man? That's a good question, Habib. That's a good question. I think, Colin Sexton was ran out of Cleveland by, what's his name, Darius Garland, who's 100 times better than him as a facilitator. But Colin Sexton is a little scoring guard. He'd be great to have on your squad. I don't know if I don't know what is he still on a rookie contract? I think he's still on a rookie contract. I don't think Cleveland's going to extend him or pay him big money because of Darius Garland. So that's actually a good thing to consider. I didn't really think about Colin Sexton. That'd be nice. It would just be nice to have a young athletic combo guard that can score coming off the bench. I mean, really, look at other teams. Look at other teams and the players that come off the bench and score, and look at us. Look at the Sixers out here playing Shake Milton. You know what I mean? It's sad. What are we doing here? We got to get 56, 65, 79. We got 90 points from our starters in this game. We got 90 points from our starters. That's how we won the game. 23 on the bench, 12 of it was from Georges Niang. I'm just saying, how long is this bench going to look like this before you just play some guys from the Delaware Bluecoats instead? What a team. What a team. Just absolutely just up and down. I guess all teams are up and down, but this team I can't figure it out ever. This was a good win. Now we got a back-to-back Sunday night. Who do we play Sunday night, man? We got a Sunday night game, and then we got a Monday night game against the Miami Heat. That's the one. That's the test. That's the real test because, look, we played the Heat without James Harden. They stomped us. We beat the Knicks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Knicks again. Had a close call with Orlando, one of the worst teams in the league. Lost to Denver. Beat the Cavs, which, I said that was a good win because the Cavs are a good defense. But, they don't have really star potential on the offensive side of the ball. And Kevin Love was coming out of retirement, bombing threes on us. So I think this Miami game is the biggest test so far. The Denver game was a test, and we lost it. And Denver is playing without, Jamal Murray, without Kevin Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr., So still, that team's not even at full strength. That's why they're calling you Joker the MVP, or some people are at Swipe a Cam, because he's playing without a lot of his guys. So even that game was like, even if we won that, I would have felt like that wasn't like the biggest test ever, and we lost. So Miami on Monday night will be a big time test for the Sixers, man. Let me look at the schedule here real quick. Let's see what we got going on for the rest here. We got Toronto, 8:30 p.m. on Sunday night. We got Miami on Monday night at 7. Then we go to the West Coast, Lakers, Wednesday, 10 o'clock at night. Oh, that's a tough one. If I'm tired right now, what am I going to do? I got to start buying Red Bull or something, man, because those 10 o'clock games on a Wednesday are really going to wear on me. We got the Clippers at 10:30 on Friday, 10:30 at night. Ooh. Then we got the Phoenix Suns at 6 o'clock on that Sunday. So, Miami's a pretty big test. The Lakers stink, but they still have LeBron James. So, you never know. The Clippers don't have Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. That should be a dub. But, again, it's, we're still I just think the rest of this season, all the way to April 10th, is, we're in the playoffs, and we all need to just chill, relax, take a deep breath, because we're really just using the rest of these games for the rest of this season to figure it out, to try to build the chemistry, to try to know the players, to learn each other, James Harden to get comfortable with and know everybody's tendencies, and Allen Ayub. Mobley dropped 27 on Jokic. Jokic is a good defender. We all know Jokic isn't a good defender. His fans use the most advanced analytics to try to show that he has a defensive rating adjusted box plus minus, like, what does VORP stand for? Value over replacement player or Raptor something. I don't even remember what that shit stands for, but yeah, we know Jokic isn't a good defender. You saw it. If he was a good defender, they wouldn't have had to bring doubles against Embiid the whole time. So, cheesy gordita crunch per 36. Yeah, so, Toronto Sunday, Miami Monday. That's a back-to-back. It sucks the NBA keeps giving us so many damn back-to-backs. We got some more back-to-backs too, don't we? Then we got a Charlotte-Cleveland back-to-back. We got a Saturday at 12:30 p.m. against the Charlotte Hornets. So it's like a daytime matinee, and then we got the Cleveland Cavaliers at 6 o'clock Sunday, the day after. How many back-to-backs? We got a back-to-back Sunday, Monday, and we got a Saturday, Sunday back-to-back. Then we got another Saturday, Sunday back-to-back to end the season, Indiana, Detroit. What's up with the back-to-backs, NBA? They hate the process. They hate the process. That's what's up with the back-to-backs. Any other thoughts you guys have? I'm going to sleep. Need a shirt that says that. They hate the process. I have a t-shirt that says that, man. Go to runitbackmerch.com. It's on there. They hate the process. Go buy it. I'll even give you 20% off. Use the promo code RUNMY20 for 20% off of the They Hate the Process t-shirt. And go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Good win for the Sixers. Free Corky. Hell no. Keep Korkmaz on the bench. Get Korkmaz out of here, actually. Cut him. Cut him. You hope they rest. Lalama says, I hope they rotate Harden and Embiid on the back-to-backs. I would hope so, too. Like, the closer you get to the playoffs, they should start resting these guys. Are you distancing yourself from RB and his hot takes? I don't know what that means. RB's my guy. No clue what that means. Don't try to create YouTube beef out of nowhere for no reason. Why would you do that? Ron549, why didn't Doc play Maxey in the fourth? He didn't play Maxey in the fourth at all? Really? That's a good question then. I don't know. I didn't even realize that. Is that true? Did that really happen? Hey, Trey Burke was in the game for 3 minutes. I didn't even realize that. He was 0 for 2. Damn. Rest in peace, Trey Burke, man. Walmart Allen Iverson. Great memories watching that guy play for the Sixers. Yeah. We shot 42% from 3, 91% from the line. We had a good shooting night, man. Good shooting night. Maxey stopped being aggressive. Oh, he did hurt his wrist. He did. Got tackled. And it was a foul, and they didn't call it because...
It's that time again. Sneakers squeaking.
They don't call fouls for Tyrese Maxey in the NBA. Cjo is in the comments section. Cjo is in the chat trying to defend Furkan Korkmaz by saying Allen Iverson had a bad percentage, just like Corky. Okay. I got to get back to my YouTube controls because I got to put you on timeout for that nonsense. Where are you? Where are you at? Reload the page. Cjo's getting put on timeout. This is absolute blasphemous comments. Have a timeout, bro. Unbelievable that you would even use the name Furkan Korkmaz and Allen Iverson in the same sentence. Shame. Shame's in the chat. Shame. Everybody type shame for Cjo trying to compare Korkmaz to Allen Iverson. Unbelievable. I got nothing else. This was a good game. I enjoyed it. I'm struggling right now. I was falling asleep during the game. Got a long day tomorrow, and then we got a game on Sunday. So I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good, safe St. Patrick's Day weekend. Be safe. Drink water. Don't be dumb. Use an Uber. Take care of yourself, man. Peace.